Ma nishtana. Everybody knows those words. Every child coming in the next day in shul is asked, "No, did you ask the questions? How many questions did you have?" The Gemara says, "V'kan haben shoyel," and here the child asks. The Seder is based on the question. Why? Pesach is the Yontif of freedom. Pesach is the Yontif we celebrate coming out of Mitzrayim. What does it have to do with questions? Why is the idea of a question so encouraged? Why is the idea of a question so intrinsically related to the whole Pesach Seder experience? The answer is because indeed, question is synonymous with freedom. A society that wants to stifle its people doesn't allow questions. An ideology that discourages questions is they want to oppress you, or they don't have the answers. Yiddishkeit says, ask, frag mein Kind, as the old saying goes. Ask the question. Moshe Rabbeinu asked questions to God, and God responded. Because being able to express my question is being able to express my freedom. Pesach is all about freedom, so Pesach is all based on the encouragement of asking questions. A younger man building a new Chabad house has this idea of doing the facade of the building with the Jerusalem white stone. But he doesn't want to just plain white stones, he wants to have them a little blend. Old looking and while fresh and new. To convey the message that Chabad is old Yiddishkeit, yet not afraid to blend and tackle with modern society. That the old and the new is not a contradiction. It's all one. But these stones are not easily accessible. He found out that in North America there's one Canadian company that is the expert in this field. He meets with the owner of this company, explains what he wants. It's doable, long process, and very expensive. Okay? Somehow in that conversation, the owner of this company says, in your belief system, in Judaism, do you encourage or discourage questions? He says, why are you asking? He says, because in his background, in his non-Jewish background, where he was raised, questions was always discouraged. Whenever I had a question, I was told, this is how it is, don't ask questions. It got to the point that I left, he said, his religious background. And I'm curious to see how it is within Judaism. So he tells him, look, in Judaism, questions is encouraged. She'elat u'tshuva, the whole response, the whole huge Jewish library is all based on questions and answers. May I ask you a question? If I'll have the answer, I'll be happy to answer. So his question is, he says, how does one reconcile the statement in the Bible that God created the world 5,781 years ago and with science that claims that the world is billions of years old? He says this question, this younger man, this shliach, turns white. Says, Rabbi, I hope I didn't offend you. Says, no, but I have to tell you what happened yesterday. Last night, in preparing for this meeting today, I asked a blessing from my Rabbi for this meeting. The way we do it today is, we write the letter, we open it, we put it into one of the Rebbe's books, if it's responsa, is letters, and I did so, and all I had over there was a 2-page long letter from the Rebbe explaining exactly that subject, how it's not a contradiction. There is fact, there is theory, there's extrapolatory concepts, and so on. And this is what the Rebbe explains, and he goes on to explain in the entire letter how it is not a contradiction. There is a concept of faith, and there's a concept of theory. And one has to realize that a theory is no more and no less than a theory. But when Torah says it's a fact. Now, he tells him, do you realize When I saw that letter, I wondered, what connection is it with my blessing for this meeting? And here is the answer. The Rebbe anticipated your question, and he gave you the answer. Who is this Rebbe, he asks. So the Chassid went in to explain. The Rebbe is the Nasi Ador. He leads people to the Geula. He wants people to do 7 awake nos. The man is extremely impressed. And he said, you know what, Rabbi? Your rabbi is a smart man. Not only did he give me the answer, but he gave you the blessing for the success of the building. I am donating all those stones for your project. So, Rabbi Shalom, you're encouraging questions. We have a question. Nu, wo is Moshiach? Let's come out of Golus already right now. Eibishter, I don't want an answer. I want the Geula.